All right, today we're going to be going over this video. It's a news segment talking about the fact that the Tennessee Highway Patrol has falsely arrested almost 200 completely sober people and arrested them for DUI. Let's check this out.
Head of the THP is answering questions from lawmakers about what WSMV4 Investigates has exposed in our sobering problems investigations. You may remember the last time I tried to talk to Colonel Matt Perry, he got in his car and was driven away. But when he left...
Okay, that's a good sign. A public servant who's hired by the citizens tries to get asked a question by a citizen and runs away to his car. It's a good sign.
The hearing today, we were waiting outside. Of everything we've shown you, the THP being the police agency with the highest number of sober DUI arrests, 180 in the latest TBI data, to how sober drivers are having their lives ruined after being arrested.
Just constantly the bad dreams, constantly reliving this experience.
Today, Senator Mark Pody wanted to know about this, how former troopers tell WSMV4 Investigates a quota system exists.
So those two cops right there are former police officers for the Highway Patrol who are now essentially whistleblowers saying they had quotas.
And the pressure to make DUI arrests is resulting in wrongful arrests.
This is corruption. We're ruining people's lives. We're being forced to ruin people's lives.
There was some news articles
Look at some of these people. These people, you'll see later on, these people are not drug addicts.
Forwarded to me, and it has to do with people being stopped and actually arrested for DUI, but there was no evidence of that.
There's certainly no quota like some of these articles have pushed.
Colonel Matt Perry says his agency...
And this is the only course of action we have as citizens. 200 people are falsely arrested, and all we get is some politician asking softball questions where nothing is going to end up happening. They'll still have a job a year from now.
Is reviewing DUI arrests, where the blood work later came back and showed no alcohol or drugs, and so far found this.
We've not had one that they said, yeah, this was somebody that probably shouldn't have been arrested.
So do you think...
Did y'all just hear that? So this guy stands behind all 200 of those arrests, even though 0 drugs and 0 alcohol were in their system. These guys have no shame. 0.
All of these people that have been arrested actually were not sober?
I can't answer that. I haven't reviewed all of them, but none have made it to me saying anything different.
Perry says that the TBI blood tests don't test for every drug. But in all of the cases we've uncovered, when the TBI blood work comes back clean, the DUI charge is dropped.
They're not.
You cannot make this up. So this officer's argument is that even though they failed for all the drugs, they failed for all the alcohol, that there must be some other drugs that they don't test for that these people were on, all 200 of them. How is this guy, 1, not in jail, 2, still have a job?
Sober driver. They might have come back with nothing from the TBI lab in their system, but that doesn't make them a sober driver.
I've interviewed these people. They were sober at the time that they were arrested. There were no drugs or alcohol in their system. And your agency is showing making the most of these arrests.
We do not want anybody.
Like I said, you can look at some of these people and tell they're not on these insane, untestable drugs.
Arrested, charged that hasn't committed a crime. So I'll say that.
If it sounds confusing, Perry testified today.
He said, I'll say that. Like he just let out some big admission. He said, yeah, I hope no one gets falsely arrested. I'll say that. Like he's like admitting to something. Insane.
That the field sobriety tests that the troopers are performing indicate the driver is intoxicated.
But ultimately, if a drug test or a alcohol test comes back negative, then the court system throws the case out or dismisses or pleads it to a lesser charge, then the system works.
He's saying if you get arrested for DUI, you come back completely negative, alcohol and drugs, that if it gets lowered or dismissed, that's the system working. Yeah, after you ruin their lives.
Problem is that people's lives are being ruined in the process.
I hear that, and I don't want anybody's life to be ruined because we did something wrong.
Since this data has come out, what have you done as an agency to address this issue?
I mean, we were looking.
They've done nothing. That's just say it.
In our training, we are looking at these cases, and we're coming up with a system to make sure that we are properly, reviewing every one.
Perry says the THP is also reaching out to agencies outside of Tennessee to see how they're conducting field sobriety tests. So if you'd like to see our original...
I'll say it again. We are an absolute joke of a country when hundreds of innocent American citizens can be arrested and jailed. And the person who's in charge of that, the police officer, faces no punishment. He probably gets raises every year. He doesn't care. They don't even care. That is the worst part. They don't even care.
Investigation where the former troopers revealed evidence that they say shows the quote